Hey guys, we just finished lunch and I got the baby put to sleep, so now we're gonna go and head to do school, and I just thought I would just film while we're doing it so you can see what our community helper week looks like this week. And then basically I have to get back to work and I will pop back on after I am finished.
I always like to start our day with calendar time. This is the Melissa and Doug magnet calendar. It's linked below. Typically, we used a wall calendar when we had a whole school room, and it's probably my most requested link, so I'll link that below as well. But I think this just gives us a good orientation for the day and sets her up for any activities that are going on that evening. And her favorite part is to pick her mood and pick the smiley face that she feels that day. Next, we go into religion and read a Bible story. Sometimes we will do a coloring page or activity with it. Today, we just had time to read. After that, we went to doctor. Our focus is on our last name this week, and our last name starts with D, so we did that, and I tied it to a doctor for Community Helpers Week. I started her out by tracing with her finger and then using the dot marker to complete it. This will be a two-part worksheet for us. She will dot it today, and then tomorrow she will color the doctor on the work page. So we can use this worksheet 2 days, which is great. After that, we're doing a community helper puzzle, and this puzzle actually is just a 2-piece puzzle, but it has many more pieces than this. But for her age, she is 2 going on 3. I just wanted to bring out like 5 at a time so that she wasn't overwhelmed, and she actually did mix one up, but I didn't correct her at first. I waited for her to kind of get a few more pieces to realize it didn't match up fully. That smile and pure joy, sense of accomplishment she had right there is what homeschooling is all about, and moments that I just relish and love as a mom and as her educator. We then moved to community helper sorting mats, and we have about 8 of these, I want to say, but I just chose 2, again, not to overwhelm her, but there's many out there, and we'll probably do 2 each day of the week. But this is one of her favorite activities, and she likes to be silly with it, and at the end she likes to go through and show them all, and she'll ask questions about why one might have that tool. So it's just a really good way to show different professions and what tools they might have. The next thing here is a counting game to help the community helper get to his place of work, and we have little figurine pieces here. We started this as a 2-player game, and I quickly realized that that was not going to work for her mood at the moment, so we adjusted to doing it together as a 1-player game, and I kind of more helped her with it as she counted. And so that's just one thing I wanted to note, because sometimes with little ones you have to adjust in what you're doing, and that's totally fine, and just kind of go with what they're doing to make the activity fun for them. And as a side note, since this is the last one, all of these printables, all of the links for these, all of this stuff is available on my website. I'll link it in the description below. All these resources are free. They're not necessarily all mine. Some of them are, but not all of them are, but all the links are in that lesson plan. So head to my website, get these links, and get the freebies in my printable section. We rounded out the day with a sensory bin, and this is just our community helper one this week, and she likes to do rice and bins and just play.
So we ended with that sensory bin, right? And I just get a lot of like questions sometimes about a video I posted, like activities for 3-year-olds or preschoolers, where we had a sensory bin, and people always comment like, my kid can never do that. Like, they would throw the rice everywhere. And my current 5-year-old, when she was that age, was an angel, like would never do it. So some kids are good with that. Other kids are not, as other people have commented and mentioned. That my current 2, almost 3-year-old is one of those. She will throw rice no matter what. But I still let her do it, and she still has fun doing it. And if it's an okay time that we can throw, like maybe we'll do it outside or in a sheet so that I can clean it up. But I do like to have her in environments where she needs to try to be respectful of a space and not make messes, because that is a part of life. So when we do school sensory bins, that's like a time where she's supposed to be kind with the rice and respective of the space. If she makes a mess, she has to clean it up, which today I walked out of the room, because usually I'll let her do that sensory bin and then I'll go clean the kitchen from lunch, like before I have to hop back to work. And before I even left the room, she was already taking the scoop and dumping it on the floor. So in those cases, sensory bin gets taken away right away immediately. No second chances, no nothing. They lose the chance to play with it. So that's their consequence. And then they have to help me pick it up, which she did, and it's all fine. And now she just has the opportunity to go play with some other toys, and our school day is over. So I just wanted to throw that in there, because I understand every kid doesn't play with it right. And this is just how we handle when messes are made. So it's no big deal. It's a mess. Kids make messes. I'm not upset. I'm not angry. But when she does do it, we just say, oh, sorry, no more playing with this. We take it away. And then I say, can you help mommy clean it up? Sometimes she'll say no, and I'll say, oh, I think we're gonna clean it up, and I'll time to see how long it takes you. Something like that to get her motivated to do it. But that's how we handle it here, because yes, she is one of those that just like can't stand not to make a mess. So that's where we are. Now, the baby just woke up, so I gotta get them another activity prepared while I sit down and do some work. And I just saw on my phone, I got an email from the school that the person who sits next to Isabel at school threw up all over and is going home. She's fine, didn't get thrown up on or anything, but I'm like, great, so she's gonna get sick. So I'm just gonna make some elderberry real quick and let that sit on the stove while I finish working for the day. So, woo, life is fun.
As a side note, my mother-in-law just stopped by and brought me a pecan pie because my birthday was last week, and how nice was that? It is so incredibly good. Yum, one of my favorite desserts. Thanks, Mom.
Thought I would just show you how I make the elderberry, since I don't know if you've ever done that, but it's super easy and it's really good for immune boosting, and I'll give it to Isabel today along with some vitamin C. So this is how you make it if you wanna know.
So you are going to start with 3/4 cup of dried elderberries. I'll link the ones I use in the description below. You're going to add 3 cups of water to that. Next, you can do a cinnamon stick, which is what I'm putting in, but if you don't have whole ones, you could also do a teaspoon of dried cinnamon. Next, I'm doing a teaspoon of dried cloves. I wish I had whole ones. If I did, you would put 4 in. I'm doing a tablespoon of fresh ginger as well. Again, you could use 1 teaspoon of dried ginger if you don't have fresh. And then this is 1 cup of honey. It's not going in yet. Right now, I am basically going to stir this up and bring it to a nice boil, and then just let it simmer covered for about 45 minutes. So I'll just let it sit on the stove while I'm doing some work, and you basically just want to see it reduce by about half. So then once it cools, you're gonna turn off the heat, and once it cools, you can use a mesh strainer, kind of like this thing right here. Then you can add your honey to the liquid, and ta-da! Immune boosting elderberry syrup. After work, I went ahead and got dinner prepared. I was too busy to show you actually making it, but here is the end. We're having steak and some chickpea kale curry. Turned out super yummy. And just as a side note, because I did this over last weekend and I'm excited, I cleared the bookshelves, which means fall decor is coming soon. Woohoo! Stay tuned for a fall decorate video.
All right, that is all for today. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.